So I'm gonna shift on right on over, right next door to second base and shortstop. Now I know ever since Seager went down, I'm gonna say the obvious, and Manny Machado has been the headline. The
Yeah.
second that Corey Seager went down, the internet went crazy. It's saying that's it. Machado confirmed to the Dodgers. It's gonna happen, and I I would like to see that. It's definitely great help. Right now he has a 301 batting average with 19 home runs.
Damn.
He's having a great offensive career. The only issue is his defense. Now I know he's a two-time Gold Glove winner, but that's when he's over at third base. Right now that he's playing the shortstop, he's ranked 16th defensively among shortstops in the MLB, which is pretty bad. Now, the thing about Machado is he's a rental, but he's an expensive rental. The Orioles are not going to let him go for cheap. You're talking about two top prospects. You're at least one top three prospect. So you're going to include either Bueller, Verdugo, or Mitchell, or Ruiz, or possibly Ruiz. So you're going to have to include one of these top guys, maybe one MLB proving young guy, and another 5 to 10 or 5 to 15 prospect.
Damn.
So he's going to be a very pricey rental.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it worth it? Who knows? That's up to you guys to judge, because we all know Seager's timetable to return is roughly around the All-Star game of next season. So getting Manny Machado, I doubt he resigns, because you're going to have to get either Seager or Turner to shift over to second.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's really going to happen.
Yeah.
So Machado's almost or for sure just rental, because I don't see the Dodgers really resigning him. So you're going to give up a lot to get him and just let him walk at the end of the season. I have on my mind that I see the Dodgers picking up, and this to be frank with the audience, I went a little bit realistic on this. I didn't start listing Didi Gregorius or Carlos Correa or any of these guys. I went realistic. I got guys that I felt are the type of guys that the Dodgers front office goes for. And another plus to these guys is that they're all on expiring contracts and contending teams. So at the end of the season, you can let these guys walk. And, next season, you can have someone like Forsythe or Hernandez kind of take over the duties while Seager comes back. But as for now, we need someone to help us in this postseason run. So just to list them off real quick, we have Jordy Mercer from the Pittsburgh Pirates and Asdrubal Cabrera from the New York Mets. They don't put up the sexiest numbers. As a matter of fact, some of you might not even know who these guys are. They're low-profile guys. But one thing about them is all three of these guys have consistent offense and great defense. And to me, the one guy I would really like to see is Jordy Mercer, because he's a balance between Freddie Galvis and Cabrera, and he's great against lefties. He's historically great against lefties, and that's something the Dodgers could use.
Yeah.
With Freddie Galvis, you get a better defense than the rest of these guys, but not as good of an offense. With Cabrera, you get the better offense, but not as good of a defense. And with Jordy Mercer, you get that guy right in the middle. It's great offense, great defense, and like I said, a plus that he's great with lefties.
And help the Dodgers, because we realistically wouldn't have to give up a lot. At most, we would have to give up maybe two mid-tier prospects, maybe one 5 to 12 prospect. But honestly, for a rental like that, wouldn't be so bad. And then we just have to keep someone there for a couple of months until Seager comes back and he takes back his position. Honestly, that's a great pickup. That's a solid idea.
Like I said, there's those big sexy names out there, but if you're gonna be realistic, the Dodgers aren't really gonna go for those guys. They're gonna go for these types of guys, these low-profile guys who are just consistent offense, great defense. That's ideal for the Dodgers lineup. The way this Dodgers team is built, it's kind of a small. Right now, we're just seeing them try to smack home runs.
Yeah.
But this team is ideally built for that small ball play, that postseason small ball, great bullpen play.
Mm-hmm. And let's be real,
So
Machado going to cost us a lot. He's going to cost us.
Yeah.
They're asking if if their general manager wasn't so tight with wanting so much, because I guarantee you, every single call the Dodgers have made, it's always included. We want Walker Buehler and Alex Verdugo and another prospect for Manny Machado. But
Yep.
that's that's their price, and I'm not really willing to give up a Walker Buehler just yet because Kershaw being down, Rich Hill going down, he stepped up. He got called up and he performed. He really filled up that hole and he did his thing. Definitely, definitely did his thing.
Like I wouldn't mind giving up a Walker Bueller if it got us a top tier player under contract still for another 2, 3 years or even more, preferably. But knowing that our rotation is healthy and
Mm-hmm.
Bueller is kind of doesn't just fit in there yet. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, I'd be fine with it. But right now, knowing that he's a rental, he's most likely not going to sign again, and our rotation is not healthy, so Bueller, we might need Bueller out of nowhere. So I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be comfortable giving up Bueller just yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're right now mentioning the next they're starting to get healthy, but the next hole that Dodgers have that could ideally become a powerhouse because we've seen what the Houston Astros have done. They picked up Garrett Cole, they already had Verlander somehow, some way he found the fountain of youth. Dallas Keuchel having a down year, but still we know what he could do. And then Lance McCullers also, we know what he could do. So with the Dodgers solidifying their, I guess, rotation by adding someone stronger, because we've heard just like Manny Machado, people get tired of hearing the same player's name, and it gets run down. I got tired of hearing Manny Machado every single day, especially that week that Corey Seager went down. You couldn't tune into a sports show. You couldn't read an article that did not include Manny Machado to Dodgers. And frankly, right now we're starting to get to that point with Jacob DeGrom. He was great. He's doing great this year. And we all know he's going to cost a lot, just like Manny Machado, a bunch of prospects and major league ready players. Because the Mets, what do the Mets really have? What direction are they taking? They're kind of in the same boat as San Diego, out of the division. There's no single player they can build around. They signed Yoenis Cespedes to a huge contract, who's not even playing, who's not even healthy. And if we were to make a trade for Jacob DeGrom, the name Walker Bueller should not be mentioned. Maybe Alex Verdugo, but you got to counter with Jacob DeGrom is injury prone. He's played, the minimum amount of games every year. He's been injured since 2016 after they made it to the World Series. So in reality, you can't have Walker Bueller. You might be able to get Alex Verdugo, but you got to include something else, like one of your closers, maybe Familia. Add that to your bullpen. But you got to make sure that what we get in return is a healthy DeGrom for what you're asking for, and I don't see that happening. So the pick that I have for them to trade, for the Dodgers to trade, is a very underrated, under the radar player, and that's Blake Snell with the Tampa Bay Rays. I know everybody's thinking about that other player in the Tampa Bay Rays, but no, no, he's not having a great year, and career wise, he's also not that good. But Blake Snell, very low key, has been able to shut down some of these contenders in the American League. These last 3 games, and I'll mention it real quick. His stats, I'm not the last 3 games, but his career stats in 2000. I mean his 2018 stats. He's gone 10-4 in 17 games with a 2.31 ERA, 101 innings, 113 strikeouts, and a 1.04 WHIP. The best thing about this, the last 3 games were against the Yankees, the Astros, and the Nationals, which are potentially 2 of the 3 teams the Dodgers will face during the postseason, whether it be in Division Series, the NLCS, or the World Series. Those are some of the teams that they'll face. The only hiccup that he had was against the Yankees. He went 5 innings, he gave up 5 hits and 4 runs, but he had 8 strikeouts. The Dodgers could probably give him 5 runs and help him get the win as long as he could go the distance. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Do you feel that he performed better or worse than the Yankees against Houston and Washington, Marvin?
'Cause I know he had a great game against. He just had a great game against Washington. Kind of shut him out, didn't he?
Yep. So
I don't recall the games against Houston and the Yankees though.
okay,
But
so against Washington, he had a great game. He only allowed 1 hit 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. That's something we could definitely use if Washington's going to be a contender or one of the potential matchups in the postseason. That's awesome. Now, as far as Houston goes, do you think he did better or worse than he did against the Yankees?
In the Yankees, I feel like he would do better against Houston than the Yankees.
Absolutely, you'd be correct. He went 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. Yeah, he gave up 7 walks, but for whatever reason, Houston couldn't capitalize on that. But if you could go 7 innings and then you throw in someone like Singrani or one of your pickups that you had like Brad Hand or not McCullers,
Berkeley.
Bear Claw, and then going to Kenley, man, that'll be a success. That'll be a super great pickup. And honestly, he wouldn't cost anything as much. He's under contract for a bit. He's 25 years old, and he's a lefty, so the Dodgers would pretty much be a a heavy like rotation. Kershaw, Hill, Blake Snell, and if Rio comes back and he's healthy, that's another lefty. And then Alex Wood, he's another lefty. So it'll be a left heavy like rotation. But if he can do this against Houston and Washington, uh, honestly, I wouldn't mind giving up someone like Alex Verdugo for him. And we know this is Andrew Friedman's old club, so he still has a little bit of connection there. So yeah, that's definitely a pitcher I would really like to see with the Dodgers. If he would give us that performance against Houston and Washington, or even down the stretch to push us into the next level. Definitely, definitely. Marvin's great picks for the bullpen. That solidifies our pen. My pick for second base, that automatically gives us a huge boost. Shortstop, there you go. Whole field until Seager comes back. And then now a starting rotation, a pitcher. If it's either DeGrom or if it's Blake Snell, I mean, take that all day. Take that all day.
So, as you mentioned earlier, a good pickup that you'd like to see is Jacob deGrom.
Yep.
I would love to see Jacob deGrom on the team. I feel like, I know we thought about this last year with Darvish, and it was for good reason. He got us to the World Series. He helped us get there. He pitched very well. And now when he got there, that's a whole different story, but we don't want to relive that now. But Jacob deGrom would definitely put us over the top. You're talking about, just a quick question for you, LJ. Would you be willing to put deGrom as your number one come postseason?
Oh, damn.
And then slide Kershaw down to 2. I know Kershaw's keen in LA, but we know deGrom's been good in the postseason.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the year that he's having.
Oh, this becomes a whole Greinke and Kershaw debate. Like, oh my God. Nah, I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to slide Kershaw to the 2 because I mean I would go maybe like 4 innings tops, 4 or 5 innings tops for Kershaw. That's it. But with good
Yeah.
DeGrom, I feel more comfortable like letting him go and do that thing. But yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable
Yes.
pushing him down to 2, Kershaw.
And so that's the thing with deGrom. deGrom has the potential to come to Los Angeles, and I feel like he has a good chance of kind of taking that one spot come playoff time. And also picking up someone like that is that I feel like that's what the Dodgers need.
Hmm.
Their offense has been consistent. We feel like it is going to get better throughout the year, and come postseason time, we're going to be running full speed. And if we get the starting rotation healthy and then add deGrom to that, I feel like it's game over. The
Yeah,
thing we worry about a lot is those powerhouses out in the East. You're looking at the Astros, the Yankees, those Red Sox. Those guys are just
destroying the
like
league.
destroying everyone out there. You're talking about possibly like some of the best offenses out there.
Hmm.
So come World Series time, I feel like deGrom would definitely be that helping hand. He would be that tipping point. Now, as you mentioned, for deGrom, we already know the moment the phone call happens, the first name that comes out of the New York Mets mouth is going to be Walker Buehler.
Yep.
Now we've seen it time and time again. 2 seasons ago with the Cubs, Gleyber Torres was their top prospect, and they let him go to get Chapman, and that helped them out. That definitely helped them out. Chapman was a big factor in winning that World Series. But now you see Chapman's gone, and then we see Torres just tearing it up with the Yankees, having the season that he's having. So In retrospect, it does kind of suck that you gave them up, but you have a World Series. Now, the reason I say that is because the Dodgers are going to be in this dilemma. We know the Dodgers have been hinting at kind of getting another starter in, and whether that be DeGrom, preferably that's DeGrom, you're going to have to give up Bueller. But that's going to be the starting asking price, Bueller and some other pieces.
Hmm.
Now, for all you guys and girls out there listening, we love fan interaction. We like to, we like to hear what you guys have to say and interact with you guys, and it gets a good topic going. But I ask you guys this: is Walker Bueller worth a World Series ring? Because that's essentially what it is. The cost of a World Series ring, the price to pay would be Walker Bueller.
Oh my God.
For you guys, is it worth it? Would you pay that price? Now, Matt, I'll ask you, LAJ, what do you think? Do you feel like Walker Bueller is worth the cost of a World Series ring?
Uh, me personally, I would say no, because we don't know the certainty of Kershaw and what's going to happen with him. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to opt out? Rich Hill, is his blister continuously going to flare up? Ryu, we know he's not going to be healthy. He's probably not going to be with the club anymore. Nah, I wouldn't give him up. I wouldn't give him up for a World Series ring. You? How about you?
I would if it's for a pitcher like DeGrom. We know when he's healthy, and right now he's been very well this season. He had a little DL stint early in the season, but other
Hmm.
than that, he's been perfectly fine. And we see those insane numbers he's been putting up. If you don't pay attention to the wins and losses, that's because his team's not helping him out. This
Yeah.
guy posted an ERA under 1
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
10 games, and they lost 8 of those games. His
Yeah.
team couldn't get 1 run to help him out.
Sad.
So this guy, I he's an answer that we can potentially have come postseason time, because we know in the postseason he delivers in the postseason.
Well, not really the World
So
Series. I mean, he could get us to the World Series
uh,
and be okay, but he could definitely perform in the National League whole division and championship series.
yeah, so the thing with that is I wouldn't mind giving up Bueller if it's going to get us another top tier pitcher in return. Now I wouldn't do Bueller for a position player, but I would definitely do it for a pitcher, because as you mentioned, what if Kershaw's back flares up again, or Rich Hill's blister? That's always a thing.
Which will
Or
happen. It will
or
happen.
Yeah. Like in that case, how you mentioned you wouldn't want to give a Bueller, but I would, because it's going to get you another pitcher in return, and a pitcher under contract for I forgot how many more years to go. So if it's for Bueller for a pitcher, I wouldn't mind, because sure, we're giving up a pitcher, but we're getting another amazing pitcher in return.
Hmm.
Now, another reason I'd be okay with that is because sure, Bueller is our top prospect, and everyone in the league, any team in the league would love to have him. But right now we have waiting in the wings. We have Alvarez and White, and the rest of we have a bunch of pitching prospects ready to come up. So I wouldn't mind kind of giving up Bueller, because if you get DeGrom, you're going to have a Kershaw, or re-sign Kershaw, and you're going to have Kershaw, DeGrom, Alex Wood. You're going to have a couple of these guys in the rotation up until someone like Alvarez and Mitchell White can come up.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And there's Urias kind of waiting down there.
Oh,
We're
that's
still
right.
waiting to see how he comes back.
Yeah, he could be a potential trade chip. Also, Alex Wood, maybe also sweeten the deal for someone. That could also those two players could be potential like trade bait in a sense. One thing that I fear is, I don't know if you remember the '90s Atlanta Braves, where they won 11 consecutive division championships, and they only won one World Series championship, one,
Oh, 'cause that wasn't that it was Maddox, Schmaltz.
and
Um,
Chipper Jones.
yeah, but like that starting with that amazing starting
Oh
rotation, it
yeah,
was Maddox, Schmaltz, and I forgot who else.
but that's my fear with the Dodgers. We look at Kershaw. They had Greinke at one point. Rich Hill. They made it to the World Series, but they fell short. They had Yu Darvish that year, but the Dodgers have had, I would say, a fairly decent starting rotation for the past couple of years, and they always fall short. That's one of my fears. They get all these division championships, they get into the playoffs, they look good, and then wham, they just fall short. They just don't make it. But yeah, that's some of the things that we always debate. Like prospects, can they be dealt away with, or are they worth keeping? And if you want to give up, I know Marvin's the one that mentioned it, but who do we get in return if we're giving away both Alex Verdugo and Walker Buehler?
If you give up Verdugo and Bueller,
Yeah.
Trout's gonna be in a Dodger uniform the next day.
No doubt. And that's the one I would agree with 100% all day, every day. If we're getting Mike Trout for Walker Buehler and Alex Verdugo, let's do it.
I'm giving them the farm. Just
No, no,
ship
no,
them
no,
right
no,
into my
wait, no,
farm.
not that far, not that far. They already accepted to Walker Buehler and Alex Verdugo. Give them that. Let them be happy with that.
Take our shoes too.
I'll give them my shoes. Take Jock Peterson and Pedro Baez, please. We'll take Albert Pujols. We'll find a way to have him clean the seats after the game. But yeah, if we're giving up Walker Buehler and Alex Verdugo and a couple of more prospects, you better give us Mike Trout and maybe Otani, maybe. I don't know. I'm iffy about that one. Marvin, do you have anything else? Any other info or players you want to talk about?
Well, one thing that kind of pops up to me is Starling Castro from the Miami Marlins.
Okay.
The Marlins they picked them up on that trade when they pretty much gave away Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees.
Oh,
They got him in return. He hasn't publicly voiced his displeasure about being with the Marlins, but he's shown it. He's shown his displeasure in many ways. And I feel like the Marlins would also want to kind of take his, seeing as the Marlins just want to dump all their salaries out, they wouldn't mind getting rid of his salary as well. So that's another, I believe it's another good little pickup for second base. If we can't go for the likes of Scooter Gennett, because he will be pretty costly, Starling Castro might be a cheaper option. Not as good offensively. Offensively he's not as good. Defensively, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good second baseman. But like I said, it's not Scooter Gennett, but he's not going to cost you as much.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Maybe with the right team, he would perform because right now he is having a down year. He's only, right now at the moment hitting 270 with a 684 OPS. They're playing the Diamondbacks. Go Marlins for right now. But yeah, he is kind of having a bad year. But at the same time, it's Don Mattingly. We know Don Mattingly is straight up garbage. So with the right pitching coach, I mean the pitching coach, the right hitting coach, right system, chemistry, an environment he wants to play in, I think he would be able to raise those numbers and really perform well. I mean, let's be real. Let's be completely honest. If you're going from New York to Miami, and Miami is a great city, the city is great. But if you're going to the Miami Marlins, you might as well just put, yourself to sleep and just not even go to the games. I like that. I like that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Some solid, some good trade scenarios, some pickups that we might get, and hopefully we don't give up a lot. We're hoping some of those do come true, especially Scooter Gennett, maybe someone like Bearclaw and Snell.
I'm hoping DeGrom. Like I feel like DeGrom. I'll be happy with just DeGrom.
Okay, okay. I mean, I'd be happy with Scooter Gennett, but again, it's always good to have choices and options. But with
Yeah.
that being said, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys listen to our live show on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 Eastern. The Daily Grind Show. We take your calls. We talk about everything that went on in sports. We play a little bit of games there. We give away some stuff. You guys call in. Feel free to call in, interact with us, give us some of your options, some questions, anything you guys want to know. We'll be obliged. We'll be definitely willing to help you guys out. And make sure you also subscribe to our legendary sports organizations on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. On Instagram, it's legendary underscore sports underscore organization. Memes, videos, information, latest of the information that goes on in sports. And also, if you guys want to meet some of these players, once in a while I'll post up, links or information on where you can meet some of your favorite players. Just last week, Justin Turner was available and meeting people. So, who knows? Maybe you can meet LeBron James one day. Maybe you can meet Paul George, who's two players that I could potentially come to LA. I just mentioned it. But yeah, make sure you guys tune in. You guys follow it, subscribe. Make sure you guys do all that. And with that being said, thank you guys for listening. I'm LAJ,
And Marvin,
Legendary Sports. You guys have a great day.
have a good one, everyone.